you guys? If you're new here, hello, my name is Brittany, and in today's video it's going to be a makeup tutorial using the new Colourpop times Disney eyeshadow palette and a bunch of other shit that I have on my face right now, but this is the look that you guys have been highly requesting, so it only is right to do a tutorial, so let's just jump right in and let's do this! Alright, so the first thing that we're going to do is take a primer spray. This one is the Skindinavia primer spray, and I'm just spraying this all over my face and then just waving a piece of paper to let it dry. Then I'm going to take the Marc Jacobs Remarkable foundation and just patting this right into the skin with a Real Techniques Face and Body. It's like the Miracle Complexion Sponge, just the bigger size, so I call it the Face and Body Sponge. So this foundation is super full coverage, and you do not need to use a lot of this. So if you are working with this foundation, use a very small amount. A very little amount goes a very long way, but this is such a beautiful full coverage foundation. Then I'm going to take my Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Aquacealer. I never hear anybody talk about this concealer, and I fucking love it. This is a more like light to medium coverage concealer to me, but it's one of my favorites because it blends out super easy, so I'm just blending this out with a Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge. So this is going to be the original Real Techniques sponge. I like this one better for concealer, and then the face and body one more so for foundation. Now I'm going to take my Coty Airspun Loose Setting Powder. I use the shade Extra Coverage Translucent, I think is the name of it, and I set my entire face with this powder. Some people don't really love this for their under eyes, but I love this powder as well. It's one of my all-time favorites, and it's super inexpensive, so I know a lot of people don't need to set their entire face, but I personally do, so I'm putting this all over my face and still using that Miracle Complexion Sponge that I use for my concealer. And then after I have all the powder pressed into my skin, I just take my Sephora 55 brush and just dust away all the excess powder. And then we're going to move on to contour. This is the Morphe M523 brush with the Sephora Collection bronzer in the shade Los Cabos, and we're just snatching those cheekbones. Snatch those cheekbones, snatch that forehead, and snatch that double chin, and that's all that we're doing here. Same old that we always do for contour, so I'll let you guys just watch, I guess. Now it's time to bronze. You guessed it, Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer. This is my all-time favorite bronzer, and I'm also blending this out with my Morphe M551 brush. Basically all the same areas that we just contoured, so cheekbones, forehead, and jawline. Now that we are bronze goddesses, I'm going to take my Morphe E4 with the Karity Blush Bomb Boomberry palette. I'm going to use both the shades in this for my blush, and they are super pigmented, like, yes, bitch. So I'm going to put some of this on my hand first, and then I will blend it out on my cheeks, and I'm also going to use this as my highlighter as well. So I'm just going to take my Morphe M501 brush and just put this mainly on my cheekbone area, a little bit above my brow, and then all the high points that I personally like to highlight. So the tip of my nose and also my Cupid's bow. Now we'll move on to the brow. So I'm going to take my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the shade, I believe it's soft brown because that's the shade I've been favoring more, but it could be dark brown. But I'm like 99% sure this is soft brown. So little Brit tip for you guys. You guys like that Brit tip? So little tip for you guys is I've been starting with my good brow. I say that with like air quotations right now. I start with my good brow because I feel like my brows come out so much better when I do that one first. So I don't know, maybe try it. But I'm going to fast forward through this because I need to do an updated brow tutorial for you guys. So I'm just filling in all the sparse areas with that brow wiz. That's it. Now I'm going to go in and set my brows. I'm using the Milk Makeup Cush Fiber Brow Gel. This is just a tinted brow gel. I've been really loving this one since I picked it up, I think, in my last Sephora haul. I really like the applicator, especially because it's so tiny. So this just really helps me fill in more of those sparse areas that I either missed with the brow wiz or just really wasn't giving me enough. Then we'll go in and set our face. I'm using the Cover FX High Performance Setting Spray. I've been loving this as well since I got it. This is like legit hairspray for your face, so I'm just setting my entire face with that. And then I'm going to go in and just fan my face off to really just help it dry down faster, and you can see how glowy this makes my skin look. So now it's going to be time for eyes. I'm using the Colourpop Disney It's a Princess Thing eyeshadow palette. I'm first going to take the shade Chip with my Morphe M441 and just focus this right in the crease. I really love this brush. This is one of my go-tos right now. And I'm just fluffing this throughout the crease, blending it back and forth using windshield wiper motions. And then I'll take the shade Triton on that same brush and just focusing this again right in the crease area, taking it from inner to outer corner, windshield wiper motions, and little small circles. when I do the windshield wiper motions, it almost applies everything, and then the little circles just really blends everything out. So then I'm going to take the Karity E30 and using the Makeup Geek eyeshadow in the shade Concrete Jungle and just really focusing this, really intensifying this right in the crease area as well because we will be doing a cut crease today. This was the perfect brush to do this, so just focusing that shade right in there. I wish this shade and the next one I'm going to use was in the eyeshadow palette, but unfortunately it's not. I feel like that really would have completed the palette. So then I'm going to take my Morphe E13 and dip back into my Makeup Geek palette. This is the shade Bedrock. So we're going to basically just blend out that crease area. That way there's no harsh lines. I wanted it to pull a little bit more cool. That's why I went in with these shades instead because it was pulling more warm. So I'm just going in and blending out that crease area, and then we will go with our a la mer brush. I got this in my BoxyCharm this month, and I finally got this trick to work for me, and I'm just applying concealer all over the lids because this is where we're going to cut our crease. Whenever you look up, it just automatically like cuts the crease for you, so I'm so excited. I finally figured out how to do that trick. So now I'll go back into that Colourpop palette in the shade Midnight Curfew using our Morphe E18. I'm just going to focus this right on the outer corner, really pressing that in, and then I'm going to take my Morphe E17 and just blend out the edges. That way it's not super harsh. I probably could have used this one brush to do both of the steps, so I would just use this brush instead. So I'm just really focusing that right on the outer corner, getting it to the really depth that I want it to be. I want it to be not super black, but black enough so it's smoky. And then this shade right here, you guys, you got Thingamabobs. I'm about to have 20 of these because this shade is so beautiful. So if you missed it, it's the shade Thingamabob from the Colourpop. It's a Princess Thing eyeshadow palette. This is with no Fix Plus, no nothing. This is straight from the brush, right from the pan. This is such a beautiful eyeshadow. Like, this palette is so inexpensive. I would pay $20 just for this shadow right here. It's so beautiful. So then I'm going to take my Morphe E17 again and really just blend out the edges. I took it like 3/4 of the way of my eye. You could do like halfway on your eye if you want to. Now I'm going to go in a wing liner, and I'm the worst person to watch do wing liner. So I'm using my NYX Epic Ink Liner and totally half-assing this eyeliner right now. I'm the worst person when it comes to wing liner, so I skipped through a lot of that, but any way that you guys do wing liner with any product will work just fine. This is just my personal favorite. And then I'm going to go in with my other eyeliner. This is for my waterline. I forgot to do a close-up of this Ardency in Modster liner. This is my favorite black liner. It's super black, and I'm applying it pretty messily because I am going to go over it with this Sigma E15 with the Midnight Curfew shade from the Colourpop palette and just setting that because my eyeliners will transfer, and then I'm going to blend it out with the E17 with the shade Bedrock and just blending out that lower lash line. So it's all the shades that I use on my upper lid, using it right underneath my eye. And then we'll just go in with mascara. You can use any mascara. I just use the L'Oreal Voluminous mascara. This is one of my favorites from the drugstore. So just going in and coating our lashes and prepping them for our false lashes. So we're going to use the Batty Bee lashes in the style Sugar Baby. These are some of my favorite lashes I've ever used. They're really affordable. They're $19 for mink lashes. I love these. I think they're really beautiful lashes, and I've worn these like 20 times, and they still look like they're brand new. So very well worth the money in my opinion. And then I'm going to take the Eyedeal Duo from Dosa Color in the shade Disco with that a la mer brush again. And I'm just going to outline where I cut the crease. I just felt like this needed a little bit more glitter. And then I'm also going to apply that glitter right into the inner corners of my eyes. You can use the cream product with this as well, but I felt that the glitter stayed well on its own. And then I also did a little bit underneath my wing. And then I'm going to take the Maybelline x Gigi Hadid Tora lip liner and just outlining my lips with that. And then I'm going to go in with the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Lip Ammunition lipstick in the shade Celebrity Skin. This is one of my favorite lipsticks of all time. I love the shade of this. I love the liquid lipstick form of this. So we're just going to fill in my lips with that, and then we will go in with the Fenty Glow Gloss in the shade Diamond Milk and just coating our luscious lips because this is one of the most beautiful lip glosses I've ever used in my entire life. Fenty Beauty has my favorite lip gloss formula of all time. And then this type right here was more of an afterthought. You can see I'm completely changed and everything. I just wanted a little bit more something something, so I added the Fenty Beauty Diamond Bomb in How Many Carats, just right on the high points of my face. And that is going to be exactly how I got this look. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I fucking love this look. So if you guys do like it, give it a thumbs up. And I hope to see you guys in my next one. Peace!